even though I'm on a journey to become more, to manifest more of my potential, more of my abilities, and more character, more integrity, more love for other people, things like that. Most people don't know a lot of my journey or my story, or family dynamics and things like that. But yeah, essentially, my father, he passed when I was 10 years old. Most people don't know that, and I don't know if I've ever shared this with you, but I dropped out of college so that I could work a couple of jobs so that my mom could go back to nursing school to, become a registered nurse. So I was 19, and I was done with my first year of community college. And so I was like, hey, I want to go back to nursing school. And it was really tough on her to be like at home, and she couldn't work while she was going to nurse. She was like taking like 20 credit hours. It was insane. And so I was like, I'll just work a couple jobs, be there for my, brothers, and be there for my mom, and I can go back to school later. It was like, there's no rush. I was like, I think I always kind of knew I wanted to be in business without knowing it, because I just didn't see myself in a corporate hierarchy. So, but yeah, I would say when it comes to being misunderstood, most people probably see the energetic, the joyful Branson, I guess, or what, always, I guess, on social media or whatever. And they just don't, most people don't know that the things I've been through with my family to, be there for them, and things I've overcome personally to make sacrifices for them, and other things I've been involved with, like with missions organizations and stuff like that too. But yeah. So I got started in real estate and business essentially through a buddy of mine, close friend, mentor, Cody Purcell. And when I was in my early 20s, I was working at a job that I had a little bit of success in, and I got an early promotion. It was at a restaurant, a fine dining restaurant, and I was a corporate trainer. It was cool. They were putting me on airplanes and putting me up in hotels to go to other cities and stuff. But once I had done that for about a year and I knew I didn't want to go up anymore, I was like, capped. And then I just thought of Cody, and I was just kind of praying and thinking and journaling. I was like, man, I should just reach out to Cody and see if he'll get coffee with me, once a week or something. I'll buy him coffee. And, just built a really organic relationship with him, and just was processing life with him. As was just, looking to him for some kind of, mentorship. He actually got into real estate and was sharing his journey of him growing his portfolio of investment properties. And I thought it was super interesting that the idea of cash flow and passive income, right? That passive income was what triggered that thing inside of me. I was like, whoa, that's amazing. And they would always, I met his business partner, Mark Pringle, he was a great guy too. And they would say, well, hey, Brandon, so you're gonna go and work, but I'm gonna go to bed tonight, and I'm gonna be making money while I sleep. It was funny, but it was true. And I was like, wow, that's an interesting concept, right? I was like, okay, wow. So, all those kind of, that mindset and that perspective of making money right now, when we're shooting this video, because I have, cash flow, I'm making some money. Whether it's literally coming into my bank right now or not, that's not the point. The point is it's constant cash flow that's being produced whether I'm in a job or not, right? Each property is like its own little small business. And so anyways, I just met with him, and kind of that's how I got started my real estate journey. I used to meet him at 4 a.m. at Waffle House because that's the only time he had. And I would show up late at 4:30 and chat with him about real estate and life. And for me, growing up without a father, it was very important that I found someone I could process life with. And that can be someone from your church, that can be an uncle, that can, what I'm saying? It can be a good friend, but it needs to be a relationship where, they're gonna act you're actually gonna, discuss your life and discuss possibilities and discuss, potential solutions to maybe where you're at or, where you're going. Instead of just listening to you, you want them to be a person to actually help you get to the next step. And I think that's the main thing in life. Like, I don't know where I'm going to be in 5 years, but I do know the next steps I need to take on every area of my life. You know, I know the next steps to take. And like even my channels, my social media, I want to help people take that next step in their, their investing, their careers, their dreams, their goals, their passions. And so, yeah, I mean, it's extremely important, especially for anyone that maybe didn't have a good father figure in their life, or didn't have a father at all, like myself. It's vital. It's vital for sure. Kind of going back to what you were talking about, like the whole grit aspect. For me, I just don't know. I'm super competitive. There are times where I've definitely wanted to throw in the towel, or wanted to take some time off, or wanted to have whatever it looks like, maybe a sabbatical or something. But for me, I'm just like, I have too many people counting on me. Both of my younger brothers work in my business. You work with me, Jace. And I have an executive assistant, I have a virtual assistant, my team's growing, and there's I just couldn't imagine. It's just, I put myself in a position where I have to keep moving forward, right? I have to. Like, I wake up earlier now because I shoot content with you, So it's just, put yourself in positions where you have to show up, and your life will start slowly changing. So,
like, this moment is like the brain before this and brain after this.
I think it's hard to answer that question because there's many little defining moments. Branson, when did the light flip switch, or like you said, what was your defining moment? When did the hero emerge? Right? Like, when did you finally begin to show up the way you're supposed to? And I would say I'm still learning to show up the way I'm supposed to. I would say that there's been defining moments, not a defining moment. The most defining moment was when I got born again and radically transformed by God. But that was like, my personal defining moment in my life. And then after that, everything's kind of been a precursor or a overflow or a domino effect from that personally. I view my reality and how I interact with people as best possible through that. I think that anyone that attempts to do things that are in the public eye, they're gonna be misunderstood. So I already know that. I think I was very concerned about that. Probably more in my early 20s than I was currently. So I'm just gonna embrace it and roll with the punches.